That thing is scabbed together. Yeah, it's a little sketchy, so this is what's holding it up. Those giblet bricks.
This falls on me. Tell my wife and my daughter I love them.
Driveshaft comes down on the camera, destroys it. Whoa!
Oh, there
oh man! Welcome back to the Foundry. So today, a friend of mine calls. He needs some parts for his 1974 F600 dump truck. Now he knows I've got some old junk trucks like that, and I've got them out in the country. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to grab the camera, take you guys along for a field trip. Now I need to check out a few things of my own out there. I've got a 1969 Mack R611 ST. It's an oil-filled winch truck. I bought it a few years back, hadn't seen it in a while, so I thought we'd check that out. And a buddy of mine that owns the property where I keep this stuff, he's got a lot of things out there as well, and he asked me to take a look at a Caterpillar D4D bulldozer that he wants me to sell for him. So let's go check it out. Yeah, it's a little bit of a trek back here, but it's not too far.
I need to take my pistol in case we run across some thieves.
Yeah, I presumed you already had it. I don't know what year it is. He said it ran real good up until the engine locked up. Got no heister on it. Undercarriage is well worn. Said transmission was in good shape. It's got a pretty decent roll cage on it. I want to say he said a logging contractor had it and pretty much destroyed the blade. And that's kind of, most of these old dozers we drag home usually got a pretty decent, even when the whole machine's wore out, the blade's usually in decent shape. This one's destroyed.
Did the blade lock, I mean the engine lock up while he was using it or what?
Yeah, he said that was the best part about this machine, was it started so easy, never needed ether, and it was running one day and started knocking real bad. Before he could get it shut down, it locked up. Gave no advance notice. But this roll cage is pretty interesting.
When you're looking at,
that is pretty cool.
when you say the the undercarriage wore out, are you looking at the tracks? Are you looking at the sprockets, or
all the above consists of the undercarriage? See how sharp these.
Yeah, they wore pretty good, aren't they?
Now these rails aren't worn too thin, but you reach up under here and the pins, or excuse me, the bushings, man, they're really not that bad.
Wow, how many times has that blade been passed on?
A lot.
Wow.
That thing has got some welding rods on that.
Golly.
That thing is scabbed together.
I was wondering when I was standing behind it, I was wondering, it's like, how in the hell have those hydraulics held up that long? But I didn't see that cable he had.
Yeah, he pushed it over here with something. He said he used it for a couple years. Wants to sell it. Somebody needs some parts. It's got a good transmission. Like I said, that winch. Sprockets are shot, but really the roll, you know, the rails and the rollers and stuff really aren't too, I don't know about the rollers, the idlers, but
That cage would be cool when you're old Alice Chalmers, though.
I've got one for mine. It doesn't have
It don't have the front part, though, does
it doesn't have this. It goes down to the nose.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, but it doesn't have this little cool side piece.
You know, they got these big, gnarly roll cages on them, but there's no seat belts in them, so you're still going to get beat to hell and back.
Yeah, you'll fly out of it.
And get rolled over by the roll cage.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind having a winch like that on mine. That would be super handy. I don't know, that thing probably weighs
20, 25?
I would have said, yeah, somewhere in there. I'd say right around 20. I'm just guessing. I mean, it could be 18, I don't know. My Alice Chalmers HD7 is 16-ish. I think the tractor's 16, and then with the blade and everything on it, it's probably close to 20. So yeah, that
one's a little bigger machine, huh?
Yeah, that one looks a little bit bigger. So that's probably every bit of 20. Well, let's go find some trucks. Yeah, scared up a couple deer. So this truck belonged to a drilling contractor, Oil Field Exploration. Man, it says it was licensed back in 1990. Does that say 90?
Yep.
Pretty cool utility bed on it.
No drive shaft.
No drive shaft.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Ooh, it does have a drive
It's
shaft.
got the rear piece. That is already disconnected.
So we're on the hunt for a drive shaft. This truck has got one under it.
It's already disconnected.
It had a knuckle boom or something on here. Something between the cab and the...
This is a little older than mine, but...
This one's newer than that one we're going to look at.
Is it?
Yeah. This one's not that old. I'd say late 70s. This one even had the chrome grill package. It's pretty cool. Plenty of junk out here, that's for sure. There's another one. Can't tell what that on the other side of it. Yeah, it's another 600 it looks like. I don't see the back half of it. I think it's cut behind the cab. I don't see a drive shaft laying in there. Alright, on to the next one. Now, I don't know how long it's been sitting, but I do remember this truck running back in the late 90s. It's still got the front end and stuff under it. It's a gas burner. I think it's a little old inline 6.
It's a gas burner?
Yeah. And that over there is a crew box that went behind the cab of one of these F600s that the power company had. And there's a bench seat in it, and some seat belts and a heater, no air conditioning, and it's like riding in a closet. Picture your closet with a bench seat in it, and that's what it was like riding in for the crew. It was on a F600 4x4. The Highline crew had them back in the late 70s and 80s. They used it. And here's my old Mack truck. I really need to get out here and get all this pine straw off of it, and really need to take it back to the foundry. I guess now that big old snatch block's still sitting up there. I figured somebody would have stole it by now. It's got 2 winches. The main winch is a Tulsa. I'm not sure what it's rated for. I want to say like 80. And this secondary winch is a Braden, and it's I think that's a 40,000 pound winch. I'm not sure. I really don't remember. But these poles are telescopic, so you grab them here and pull them out. They're man killers too. You got to be a man to pull them things out. But they're power assist to lift. To use that secondary winch, there's a loop back here. Let's see, yeah. Dang. There's a loop right here. You hook the winch to that and it pulls, and there are lift arms underneath these poles. And they hinge right here and here. And they lift straight up. Now there's no light under here, it's late in the evening, but anyway, these lift arms lift these poles up out of these pockets. Then you manhandle them up to the headache rack, and then you put, there's a piece that goes in them that ties them together at the top. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, then you can rig up your winch cable to it and roll them back and get them upright. This is what's called a Texas bed. And the difference between a regular bed truck and a Texas bed truck, it's just slang terminology, is this dovetail. See how it doves down? And then that fifth wheel so you can pull a float. But it doesn't interfere with using it as just a bed truck. You can suck up some skids, tanks, whatever, just up on the back of it and transport it. The truck itself is a 66 R611 ST. And I can't hardly get to the driver door anymore. But it's a hard nose R model, which is kind of rare. I mean, they're out there, but you saw a lot of DMs and stuff that were hard nosed, but you don't see that many R models that are hard nosed. They were more a vocational type truck than they were like a highway tractor. But it's a pretty heavy rig. And I'd like to dig it out of here, and I mean, it'll never be a nice truck, not as long as I own it anyway, but maybe I could find somebody that wanted to do something with it. I'd sure sell it right. Oh, let's see if we can get in there. I ain't no telling what kind of critters. Man, something's building a nest in my glove box. It's got a brown light transfer case to run the winch, or winches, and it's got some pneumatic controls right there, and I'm not positive what those do, and I don't know what transmission, if it's like I said, I'm not a Mack guy. I don't know if it's you got a duplex, a triplex, I don't know what it is, but interesting old truck. It used to be this green color. That was the factory color. And then the oil field outfit, I guess that had it last. The ones I bought it from painted it white and red. But it's a really neat old truck. I'd love to. My plan for it when I bought it, and it wasn't in much better shape than it sits here when I bought it. But my plan was to just get it running and usable for a yard truck. Just to load heavy stuff, move heavy stuff, winch on things. But I don't know, it remains to be seen if I'll ever have time to do anything with it. Also, it's got buds on it. Most of the, or disc wheels, most of the R611 STs that I've seen were Dayton wheels, so it's kind of unique. I've never seen one just exactly like it before. I'm sure they're out there. Well, did you find the F700?
Yep, found both of them.
All right. We got a drive shaft?
This one does not.
The white one doesn't have a drive shaft?
No.
What about the other?
The white one does, I'm sorry. The blue one does not.
Okay, yeah. The white one's the one I figured would.
It don't have the front drive shaft, but it does have the piece I need.
Oh, good.
It's about 3 miles too long, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they pulled the transmission out of it before I bought it. And this has got a winch bed as well, and it is very well used.
Well, that one don't have the hood, but it does have the hinge I need.
Okay, yeah, I gave that hood, and I think the radiator might be out of it. Yeah, I gave the hood, the radiator, the seat away.
I do have some information for you there, Nick.
All right.
On this truck right here.
Okay.
You thought it was a 370, right?
No. I thought that truck was that truck is a 370.
Okay, well this one's got the 370 breather on it.
Okay. It may have been a 370.
This is not a 370.
All right, what do we got in here?
This is an FT engine. It's either a 361, a 391, or a 330.
Let me get around here. It's still got the radiator in it too.
The way you can tell
miracle.
Is the vertical exhaust manifold bolts.
Okay.
Over and under, and the intake, see right here, goes underneath the valve covers.
Yeah.
So this is an FT.
FT. I believe they said they transplanted it, so I don't know what it had originally, but it's possible it was FT originally. I don't know.
Well, mine's an FT and mine's a 74 F600.
Okay. This must be why.
This is a 700 here, though.
Yeah, it's a 700.
It's Dayton wheels on here. This is a different vehicle.
And I really can't tell a lot of difference. It's got, does it have heavier springs than yours up front? I thought,
maybe.
I couldn't tell. I was trying to see what some of the differences were between yours and the 700s, or if yours is a 700. Now the frame is heavy boxed.
Well, I talked to Steve and he said he does remember seeing 600 on the title.
Okay. This frame's box real heavy because it was a winch truck, but that's just some homemade crap they cobbled on there when they put the winch bed on it.
I'm wondering if that Driveshaft could be the same since this is a 700. If the splines could be the same count.
Probably different rear end. This one looks like an Eaton 2-speed. This is the same rear end that's under my dump truck.
I've got 2-speed.
Is it an Eaton?
I don't know if it's Eaton or not.
Yeah, see, this is identical to one in my dump truck.
It looks identical to one of mine too.
Okay, it probably is. Crawl under there and see if you want that drive shaft. So this is that piece I was talking about that goes between the poles. And I don't know what it's called, but this is also winch bed for oil field service. And these poles also telescope.
Somebody robbed the gas tank out of it.
They sure did. That could have been gone when I bought it. I don't remember. I do remember the transmission being out of it. Was that a windshield laying in there? In the seat? Don't you need a windshield? I can't open that.
Yeah, but I talked to the windshield guy, and he said he would charge more to put an old windshield in than he would if I just bought a new one. Yeah. Because they're gonna break.
Man, this windshield's perfect. I don't even see any cracks in it.
Damn, yeah, it is.
Huh. Yeah, this truck had 920s on it on some wider rims, and I took them off, put on my dump truck, and put my dump truck wheels and tires on here. These are 8 1/4 20s, but the rims are more skinny. So this truck actually had bigger wheels on it, just like your dump truck. But the bed has been cobbled.
Mine's got plugs on it though.
Right. This bed has been stitched on, and it is just, now this is cut out by design for the poles to lay up on the headache rack. That headache rack has just seen better days. This truck was well used by a drilling company and an oil production company. It's got a spot for a fifth wheel, but there's no fifth wheel there. There's just an attachment for this cable. But this was their primary winch truck until they got that Mack over there that I bought. I bought both of them from the same company. And they had this one, they stretched to make a tanker out of it. And this was actually a good truck. It was a straight truck, and it had a good seat in it. I gave the seat away. Yeah, we got the vinyl out of it and everything. That's cool. I was glad somebody getting some music. Well, the deal is, a friend of mine owns this property, and he's letting me keep my junk out here. So in return, I told him, you know, I'm not going to do anything with these trucks really. So I told him he's got trucks like this that are running and usable. So I told him if he needed any parts, he could just grab what he wanted off of them.
You know what, Nick? Good thing you didn't argue about the colors because he was right.
Well, that one...
This is the U-Haul truck right here. It is blue.
It's two-tone. I told you it was two-tone blue and white. He got the hood off of it because it was white. He was calling this the white truck.
Oh, okay.
And he calls that one the blue truck.
Well, that one was blue at one point.
Yeah, it was blue at one point. But I remember it being white. It is white. So it kind of confused me, but... It's got the front drive shaft. It doesn't have the rear section.
It's got a 3-piece drive shaft in it.
Yeah, this is a long truck, and they used it for they had some kind of big tank they had on it. It's really a straight truck, or was. A lot of parts been robbed off of. You need a hinge.
I need this right here.
All right.
And I need the front half of that drive shaft. I mean the rear half.
The rear half of the drive shaft. Okay, so we see what we need. Now we got to trek back to the truck and get some tools. Let's get after it before it gets too late. I wouldn't think it'd be too difficult. It's sitting in a yoke, like the U-joint caps are sitting in a yoke.
Yes, I know that. Well then. No, it ain't moving.
Not happening. I guess that's why they left it.
Oh no, it's just... It's got about 3 miles of slack in the rear end.
Man, does it. That rear end has got some play in it.
How does that base, that saddle not even move?
It's rusted in, I guess. It was like that when they were using the truck, because they couldn't get it out.
Yeah, those nuts have been off of it for a long time.
Well, shoot. Let me call him and see if he'll sell this other drive shaft. So we got the hood hinges. Couldn't get the drive shaft, but there's another truck back here. Drive shaft's already pulled for the most part. Just have to unspline it from the front piece, and that'll be a little easier to deal with.
And I believe it's the right length because it's a lot shorter than that one.
Yep. Maybe a win-win.
Up to where...
Get it up where you can swing at it?
Yeah.
Well, I'd crawl under there and hold it if I wasn't worried about the whole truck
No
falling
shit,
on me.
huh?
Yeah, it's a little sketchy, so this is what's holding it up. Those giblet bricks. So we're going to do the right thing.
Let's do a wiggle test. It ain't going nowhere.
Oh yeah, it's good. I mean, the rear diff's practically sitting on the ground, so even if it did fall off the back, it ain't falling far.
Sure ain't no copperhead or rattle moccasin there.
Yeah, I didn't think about that rattle moccasin. Drive shaft comes down on the camera, destroys it.
Oh, it's underneath that block of concrete.
Whoa! Oh man, you hit me right in the lens.
Yeah, really?
Oh man.
Oh, it didn't hurt nothing. All right, we got what we need.
We got a drive shaft, we got some hood hinges. We picked up a few ticks.
And a heat stroke.
And like to had a heat stroke. It's hot. It was 99 when we left the foundry. That's a done deal.
Well, I still got to put it in.
Oh yeah, it'll ride. Just throw it back there. What's the temperature right now?
It's only 91 right now. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's only 91. It feels great.
Well, it was 101 today with, 70 or 80% humidity, so 91's pretty nice.
Look at that old ambulance.
That looks like something needs to be on Ghostbusters.
That's what I was going to say.